In the tunnel. In the tunnel. In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 73.
I am tired, and how are you?
I'm okay.
How's work been, Sean?
A lot better than
Everything
yesterday.
okay on the home front?
Work's okay. Finally ramping up a little bit, but still not super busy. So, yeah. Alright, let's jump straight into it.
Yes, sir.
So, we will start off with the NFL. And
Yes, and its infinite wisdom.
Yep. So, do you want to go over some of these?
Sure. And this was, stuff that mostly happened at the end of this past week, which makes it just so much weirder. One, that an undrafted rookie thought during a pandemic that it was a good idea to sneak a girl into the team hotel and then, sneak her in dressed as a player, which if I'm going to guess, Sean, if I'm really going to put my finger on it and think this one through, I'm guessing that they're not dressed in team attire all the time when they're at the hotel.
Yeah.
It probably would have worked better if they didn't dress up the woman as a football player.
Uh-huh.
So I'm wondering, and obviously there's not a lot of details on this, which is purely great for the creative side of this and for speculation.
Uh-huh.
What exactly was she wearing? Because, if she's, got a helmet on in the team hotel, then that's red flag if there ever was one. I mean, I get that an undrafted rookie is trying to make the team, but you don't wear the helmet everywhere you go.
But I don't know about that. That's a little out there to wear a helmet into the hotel.
Well, this is where, again, we don't know what the attire was.
Mm-hmm.
But we also don't know what the undrafted... You know what? Let's see. Let me do some research on this.
Well, while you
How do you
do some
spell this
research,
guy's name? How do you spell this guy's name? Never mind, I got it.
Siverand, Siverand. Okay,
I'm going to look up...
While you look it up, right?
Yeah.
There's two signings that we have on here, or extension in one case.
Mm-hmm.
We have George Kittle for 5 years, $75 million extension with the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce, 4-year, $57 million extension. Well, that top one is a pretty damn big contract. I don't know about you.
Speaking of big contracts, this guy got cut from the Seahawks.
Uh-huh.
As an undrafted free agent, he had a total of $2,000 of guaranteed money in a contract that he signed as an undrafted free agent.
What, is it a practice contract, like a tryout contract?
No, you still get signed if you're an undrafted free agent.
Oh.
But it depends, the guarantees and the actual contract are very different, which, I mean, kudos to him for being qualified enough to get guaranteed money as an undrafted free agent. I feel like that's not true of a lot of people. But if he did make the team and, stayed on the team for 3 years, he would have gotten $2.3 million.
Okay. That's still pretty low.
Instead, he decides he wants to fornicate and walks away with $2,000, which just seems like a really stupid idea.
Yep.
So, yeah. And the reason why I wanted to look into that contract was I wonder how much money he spent on the team attire for the woman out of how much he was going to make. Because that's his only source of income in theory.
Yeah.
So he probably spent, I don't know if you're dressing head to toe in officially licensed NFL gear. You're probably looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of at least $70 out of 2,000, which is not a lot, but is it worth especially if it's a casual encounter, is it worth that much money? Because casual encounters tend to cost other money too.
I mean, there goes his shot, I guess.
Oklahoma State too. It's not like he was coming out of some small school.
Yep. All right. What else we got?
And just getting back to that previous slide that we had, the tight end signings.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing how. Let's just put Travis Kelce wasn't exactly vying for or fighting for a contract extension, especially with the Mahomes and Chris Jones extensions earlier this year. No one at least noticed on mainstream level that he was trying to get a long-term deal. George Kittle was trying to get a long-term deal for like the past X amount of months.
Yeah.
And the fact that Kittle basically resets the tight end market for contracts, and then Kelce gets an extension.
A lot of money.
7 hours later.
Not even. That's 3 hours.
Yeah, whatever. Coincidental timing of getting a deal done, and you have to wonder if Travis Kelce left money on the table willingly or if he had a strategy.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, on to other things. Washington football team, the minority owners are pressuring Dan Snyder to sell, who's the majority owner, right?
Which every Washington football fan should be ecstatic about, because a lot of them don't like the ownership group there. And so when the legal issues were going on, now forced a lot of the front office to clean house. Dan Snyder was seen as basically the one party that did not move. And now the minority owners that I think aren't they new, the minority owners?
I'm pretty sure.
And so they're already against Dan Snyder. So
that's not really that surprising, I don't think.
No, but what is surprising is in this world of the internet, if you Google search the Washington football team, you still get the old logo on the Google search.
Oh, okay.
You would think that the internet is
that's
on top
Wikipedia,
of something like that.
Right? The side that's
is it though?
That's straight from Wikipedia,
dude. Like someone gets dunked on, and Wikipedia changes to be like this guy's bitch in like half an hour. You mean to tell me that after 3+ weeks they haven't changed the logo?
I mean, it's community run still, like, so somebody has to go and
change the name.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Some Native American enthusiast.
All right, on to college football.
So a topic we don't normally touch on, but
this kind of. I mean, I kind of expected what we're going into. I know. Well, I've been saying it a lot. Like, if I'm a college football player, 95% of it, I'm not playing this season. I don't care. Especially even in D1.
Well, what's weird is, Sean, that, and we'll touch on this in a second a little bit more, is that a lot of college football, Division I especially, the players and coaches disagree with what you're saying. It's the leagues of the Big Ten and Pac-12 shut this down.
Oh, okay.
Not the coaches and players. But what's weird is that the Pac-12 was the first one to fold, which if you're a college football enthusiast or purist and have no really affiliation with a conference, you don't really mind losing the Pac-12 because USC hasn't been the USC of old in the past few years. You lack a certain powerhouse school. So the Pac-12 is like maybe the weakest Power 5 conference. But then when the Big Ten folds,
that's the
big one.
Yeah.
But what's weird is the fact that we still have 3 of the 5 basically going like not even like newsworthy, just like We're chugging along because, like, I follow Pitt football on Instagram. They're still posting like practice pictures every day. Like, we're ready to work.
I mean,
it's like
that's the
good for you
thing,
guys,
though.
but I'm a little surprised about that too.
A lot of in Pennsylvania, especially, a lot of schools are like already going. Like people are on campus and all that, right? Whereas like you look at like even down in like DC area, like they're fully from home. I know a couple are fully from home, but like the schools in Pennsylvania I know of, they're all having kids come back, and I'm like,
I think Pitt's a little different. Pitt, I think they're only they're not letting freshmen come. I think that's what I was told.
But
because freshmen, there's no point. It's going to be online learning. They don't want because freshmen would have to live in dorms.
Yeah.
And plus, Pitt has been over accepting students for years now, to the point where they actually rented out hotels for housing.
Nice. Good job.
I drove by a hotel yesterday that literally has a drape over it that just says Pitt housing. It's a Marriott that they rented out.
Cool. Okay.
But you know, and the other thing is, and this affects no other school in the rest of these conferences, but Pitt there's 4 colleges within like a square mile at Pitt.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it there.
Yeah. There's
no real avoiding it. Anyway, getting to the whole coaches and players thing, we're brought to this thing. This is circulated through social media, Twitter especially. It's basically a Power 5 conference, you know, sticking on a telephone pole kind of campaign. We want to play.
Yeah.
All the coaches and players. It's gained a lot of traction and didn't mean shit for 2 of the 5 conferences so far.
Yep.
So yeah.
I mean, again, like I understand. I don't know if I'm not making it to professional sports, or I don't have a chance. It's probably 10% of the D1 talent probably has a chance in the football scene.
Oh yeah, has a chance.
I'm not saying makes it.
No.
If I don't have a chance, then like sure I'd probably love to play, but is my health worth it, right? Like I would definitely want to see if a conference decides to come back, like I want to see what they would do, right?
Well, but at the same time, these are guys that unless their eligibility is intact for another year, if the season gets postponed, these are guys more often than not are at an age where they're young enough to where any critical health issues that would affect their immune system haven't been, haven't gone through their system yet. Nothing. Because, college students can eat like shit and be okay.
Yeah.
So your immune system is, in theory, at its highest. Your ability to basically process garbage is at its highest and be okay. Mm-hmm. So if you're a college football player and you're not making the NFL, I also understand where these are the years that you're not going to get back. These are your promised years, and for some of these guys, the best years of their life. It's not going to get better.
Yep.
So they don't want that taken away from them either.
Mm. Okay.
So that one's hard, and especially in an era where, like, it's not like they're getting paid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're doing this because they want to get paid. They're doing this because this is their life's work, and what are they going to do that is their life's work if football isn't it?
True. Okay, I can see that.
That was a mouthful. Oh.
All right, on to let's talk the NHL now.
Sure.
First thing we want to cover is the draft lottery, which went to the Rangers. Any thoughts on that? Just the first pick going to the Rangers?
Yeah, so get ready for the Rangers to draft Alexis Lafreniere, and he'll go on the line with Panarin and Zibanejad, and then they won't have anybody else. They'll have Lundqvist still starting in goal because they're just not ready to let that thing go. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a waste of Lafreniere's time. He'll be great for marketing in New York City, but talent, he's not going to deliver them to the promised land.
I mean, you still also, like, it's not a one-line game, right? Because if it was a one-line wonder game, then the Edmonton Oilers would be the best team in friggin' hockey. And if you only have, Panarin and Lafreniere, that's not a team.
No, especially not when they get to... See, the thing is, Panarin's on that huge contract.
Yeah.
In 3 years, you're going to pay Lafreniere his first big contract too, and then you really don't have money to sign anybody else.
Yep.
How do you feel when you have about a third of your salary cap tied up in 2 players?
Not good.
I'm sure Zibanejad's bringing in
I
money too after his career.
I still think it's like better than having an eighth of your salary cap as your goalie in Montreal with Price.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that going for them.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the other image that we had in the slide there is going back to the relevancy of the double doink with the Chicago Bears in the playoffs a few years ago. The Toronto Maple Leafs could have had the first overall pick, but their ball double doinked in the funnel that shoots the ball up and is spit back out. And immediately after, the Rangers ball went up the tube.
Oh. Okay.
Off the post twice and out.
All right.
A very Toronto way of thinking.
All right. So
yeah.
let's just do let's look at the top 5 picks, right? And we'll go through them like chunk at a time, I guess. So the top 5 picks are the Rangers, which we just talked about, the LA Kings, yep. Ottawa from San Jose, Detroit, and then Ottawa from themselves.
And what's great is that San Jose's just so overpaid for Erik Karlsson. They didn't make the playoffs this year, so that didn't work out.
Yep.
Then they lost Joe Pavelski, and Patrick Marleau ended up, he wasn't any part of the core at that point in his career anyway.
Yep.
They're both gone.
Mm-hmm.
They refused to get rid of Joe Thornton, which is just an asshole move if there ever was one. And now they're at a point...
They have nothing left.
Because Martin Jones sucks now. So now they're at a point where they literally have nothing but a 41-year-old Joe Thornton and no draft pick to try to rebuild.
Yep, it's pretty bad. They
screwed this up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And you just feel bad for Detroit in a sense because as bad as they are, they can't get top 3.
Yeah, and also as much as the rest of the league hates on Ottawa's ownership, they really, it's going to be really hard to mess up having the 3rd and 5th overall pick and not getting something good.
But you know what, man? Back on the year that Kevin Durant was drafted in the NBA, the Portland Trail Blazers had 3 first-round picks, and none of them fucking lasted. So
yeah, but
it can be done.
Yes, I know it can be done, but usually out of the top 5, 4 of them will last.
The thing is I guarantee you one of those players that Ottawa drafts is not going to start in the NHL.
I agree.
And that one has a 50-50 chance in my mind of flaming out.
Yeah, so, I agree, but they have 2 of the top 5 picks, right? 4 out of the 5 of them will play in the NHL in most scenarios.
I'd say that Ottawa should trade their 3rd and 5th for Detroit to get the 3rd overall, but Detroit doesn't have any talent to give Ottawa in return.
Wait, what?
It's if Detroit really wants to be top 3.
Yeah, they can't do it. All right, on to
Jimmy Howard and his 24-2 record or whatever the fuck it was in February.
Yeah. All right, on to picks 6 to 10 though. So 6 is Anaheim, 7 is New Jersey, 8's Buffalo, 9 is Minnesota, and 10 is Winnipeg. Any thoughts on those?
Those seem like the status quo. Winnipeg is that up and down team. that like Winnipeg could be in the conference final, or they could be where they're at now.
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
neither would surprise me from year to year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's just like
it's just the
Winnipeg,
humility of their own.
The problem with Winnipeg is their players are good, right? Like Hellebuck's pretty
individually.
Good. Yeah.
Individually.
But none of them show up together.
Correct.
It's like I want to root for that team because all the players are good.
You know what? It would be great if they had a defenseman or a player of sorts that kind of brought everyone together and allowed them to be, I don't know, physical, maybe get to a conference.
We're not talking about Dustin Byfuglien right now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I can't believe that they screwed up his contract that badly. They just decided not to play anybody.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I think Dustin Byfuglien was a GM this whole time.
All right. The last 5 picks to round out this thing, right? Nashville, Florida, Carolina from Toronto, Edmonton, and Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh selected to keep it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay. So Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Next year, Minnesota gets Pittsburgh's first round. Assuming they don't trade that away by then.
They can't, though, if it's technically traded to Minnesota.
They'll find a way to screw up getting young talent on any roster. They'll probably reverse and just trade the guy that they draft this year to Minnesota and be like, "Can we get backsies?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm of the mind that Pitt should have just given this pickup.
I mean, kinda, but the thing is their whole roster is basically veterans. They do need an injection of youthfulness somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't think I think you do worse next season, no matter what you pick here.
I think we should just trade Malkin.
But my point is, I'm sorry to say, but you probably do worse next season and can get a better pick.
Yep.
Because you're all veterans, and there's no 15th overall pick that's going to save you into the playoffs.
Again, I think we should just trade him.
So
he doesn't perform in the playoffs anymore.
Eh.
He's just a ghost in the playoffs.
But you need that regular season talent to make the playoffs.
Well, he gets mad and he just takes penalties all the fucking time. He's basically like, I don't know, he's like Tom Wilson with like the same amount of talent at this point in his career. Just with less dirty hits, but the same amount of penalty minutes.
All right.
And kudos to Nashville for tying up a lot of money in Matt Duchene to finish, in the middle of nowhere land again.
I mean, yes, but I don't know. Like, their team is okay still. They still have defensive core.
I guess.
It's not like... It's not like...
too late for them to bring back PK?
Probably. I mean, I don't think PK's... PK's not their answer either. So
PK just retire. It has nothing to do with the world that we're in. He just sucks at this point. He's only in the league as a marketing tool.
He's definitely a marketing tool, though. Like, he has that going for him.
Yeah, he's
definitely declining still.
Adidas Hockey. He's a spokesman for Adidas Hockey, and that should basically be his main source of income. It should not be anything else.
All right, so on to the next big thing.
Sure.
While we were in the middle of episodes, Seattle announced their team name.
Yep.
We are looking at the Seattle Kraken, which, if you don't know what a Kraken is, it's basically a giant octopus. Just has to put that out there.
Or a liquor.
Yes, but even if you've had the liquor, you'll see the label, which is a giant octopus.
If you see the liquor and you drink the liquor, you're going to see a lot more things than just an octopus.
All right, so the one thing I have to say about these logos is, holy crap, that's a lot of blue.
I don't mind two-tone blue, though.
But their away jersey is 4 tones of blue.
Yeah. But, I prefer, if they went, the Seattle Seahawks way. where it was like
a little bit of
a
teal.
dark blue, a teal blue, and then a teal green, and then a green, a lime green. That's the hot.
I mean,
that's a hot colorway. Every time I wear shoes with that colorway, I get compliments.
I see what you're saying, but then I also see not choosing it because you're kind of putting, I guess, like, you're kind of being too much of the same.
Well, I guess it depends what division they're in, because I guess you could see with like a colorway of blue-green, you're kind of stomping on Vancouver's ground.
But they're gonna be with Vancouver. They should be with Vancouver's division.
Well, then yeah.
NHL's gonna try and make it a huge rivalry.
Why?
Vancouver and Seattle
the Great
are like
White North.
It's like right over the border for each of them, right?
Let's go with that.
It's just like their proximity makes it something the NHL will try to push. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying the NHL is going to try and push it.
Yeah, sure. It'll come down to what happens in the expansion draft. Like,
yeah,
if Vancouver gets one of the players that they leave unprotected, that they really can't afford to lose to Seattle.
Yeah.
Then that would spark a rivalry. Like, hey, you took the player that like we've really, you know, had the most attachment to. That's going to spark, a fan rivalry, not so much a team rivalry.
Yeah, but not a team rivalry. The NHL wants a fan rivalry because if the fans are rivals, there's going to be more turnout to those games.
And they should have put more teams in Arizona where they have nothing else to do but fight over shit. Because what are they going to do? Go to the hockey games?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Just Paul Bissonnette against the world?
I guess. All right, on to the bubble playoffs. So the series have all ended, right?
Not this round.
Not this round, but last round.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we had the Penguins losing, the Rangers losing.
You're gonna go there,
huh?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
go there right off the bat.
Well, it was also at the top of the.
I was left with a solid 6-pack of Rolling Rock and a bag of Milanos still left in the fridge.
Yeah, you didn't need any of them.
I came prepared for a round or two, and I got a game in.
All right. Anyway, back to this, right? So the Penguins are out. The Rangers are out. Who else? The Maple Leafs are out.
Are out.
The
Oilers are out.
The Oilers, the Predators, the who else is that? I forget all the things.
Colorado. Who did Colorado play? Because Colorado played somebody.
Arizona. Arizona's out.
Arizona's who they're playing. Arizona won the first round.
Oh, Arizona won the first round. Because Arizona was in... Because the Avalanche had a bye then, right?
Arizona beat Nashville.
Arizona beat Nashville, right. Who'd the Stars beat?
Let's just look into this. Why don't you go through the bracket here?
All right, anyway, so first round for the East, or the second round for the East, are the Flyers, Canadiens, Lightning, Blue Jackets, Capitals, Islanders, and Bruins, Hurricanes. Then
so the Blue Jackets beat the Maple Leafs.
Yes.
The
Islanders beat
Stars the Stars were in the round robin.
Oh.
Hurricanes beat the Rangers.
Yes.
Blackhawks beat the Oilers.
Okay.
Arizona beat Nashville.
Yep. Flames and Canucks, I think, are the last two.
Flames and Jets was a series.
Yeah, so Jets lost.
Yeah. Florida Panthers lost to the Islanders. We forgot that one. Minnesota Wild lost to the Canucks.
Oh, okay. There you go. And on the west side, your second round looks like the Golden Knights, Blackhawks, Avalanche, Yotes, Stars, Flames, and Blues, Canucks. What series are you paying attention to now that you have no vested interest in the playoffs?
Well, I switched over to watching the Suns in the bubble. But anyway.
Did they not make it? Also, you have no vested interest in the playoffs. So there.
They were guaranteed at least 8 games in the bubble.
Okay.
More than the fucking Penguins were. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the more evenly lined up matchups have gone very differently. Like the Islanders Capitals, I haven't really watched it, but the fact that the Islanders are up 3-0 in this series is a little eye-opening.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get that the Islanders play really good defense, but like, you would have told me that with Oshie and Ovechkin that they would have gotten a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
This one's tough. The most even matchup series so far has actually been the Flyers-Canadiens one, which is weird because it's 1 versus 12.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I mean...
I guess the Lightning Blue Jackets too, but...
I don't know. The Lightning are not like a dislikable team, but I don't know.
Well, just talent-wise, they're probably on the same level.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. No, but I've been paying attention to the West a little bit more, even though those games.
Yeah, I did watch a Stars Flames game today for the most part.
Yeah,
Joe Pavelski looks really good today. Hat trick.
Yeah.
It's a shame San Jose didn't have a guy like that. Maybe they may, I don't know, make the playoffs every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then.
But he does a weird thing where like he uses the white stick in the playoffs, but never like any time else.
Yep.
Like it's a magic wand. It's a little bit weird. But then
hey,
again,
it works,
Milano,
man.
So
yeah, you have Rolling Rock and Milanos, man.
It's a pretty good combination. Try it sometime.
I had Rolling Rock with you that once. No Milano.
Yeah, during the Penguins games.
Playoffs, yeah.
You were down visiting during the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah. All right. On to the other bubble. What do you say?
The NBA. Got it. I wasn't sure what you meant by other bubble.
Wait.
I thought you were throwing a fastball at me or a curveball, I should say.
They don't have a bubble there.
Soccer?
Do we cover soccer in this podcast?
We just did.
No, we didn't. We just said a word.
It's the most we've ever done.
Fair enough. All right.
Say that we haven't in comparison to other episodes.
Fair enough.
Maybe one day we'll have like a soccer ball on a slide.
Yeah, that's the day we cover.
Look, we've made progress.
That's the day we cover cricket and rugby also.
Sure. Why not? You can get my neighbor who was swinging his cricket stick on the balcony, like just practice swinging.
Okay.
You can get him on the podcast.
Okay.
Be like, you definitely need something. Because, like, nobody out here, like, just goes to a field. They just were like, fuck it. This porch is a field.
All right.
Anyway, NBA bubble.
NBA bubble. Okay, so
the big thing with the NBA bubble was the Western Conference with the potential of a play-in because the Eastern Conference is so fucking bad. That, fun fact, and anyone who's a big basketball junkie knows this, the Washington Wizards got invited to the bubble because in theory they could chase Orlando for the 8th seed.
Yes.
They were so bad in the bubble that at the end of it, they were worse than the Charlotte Hornets, who were not invited. So there was something very interesting going on with that in itself, where maybe, just maybe, you didn't need to invite the Wizards.
Yep.
But because of that, in the Western Conference, and we had this scenario in the bubble where you would have a playing game if the 8th seed was, or the 9th seed was within 4 games in the standings of the 8th seed.
Okay.
And at the time when the bubble first came to be, it looked like, okay, Portland and Memphis are the only teams that have a shot at it. Maybe San Antonio, but not likely.
Okay.
And then, so we had Memphis starting out in the 8th spot at 32 and 33.
Yeah.
And Trailblazers were in 9th. So they weren't 4 games out, but if they had lost a few games while Memphis won games, it would have been that way.
Yep.
But so they were in 9th. And you had the Suns, who were 13th, the worst team in the bubble.
Literally the worst team. And didn't I say at the beginning of this, when they announced the Suns were going to the bubble, I'm like, why are you even inviting these people? Like, even if they win all their games, they are not guaranteed to make it in.
Right, but the Wizards could have won games and not made it in either. So, but the Suns were 26-39. The Spurs were 12th in the West at 27-36. So then we look at the final day of the bubble and what happened there. So going into it, those 4 teams had a chance to be in the play-in game because with I think 3 days left or something, or 3 games left, it was already determined that there was going to be a play-in game in the West.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then what happened is the Blazers end up jumping the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies had lost enough games to where if the Blazers beat the Nets, which of course the Nets choked, which, fun fact, I went on Phoenix Suns Facebook page that night as everybody saying that they're rooting for the Nets to win. I'm like, I grew up in New Jersey, and I can tell you right now, the Nets choke away games. Oh, and nobody responded to my comment, and the Nets give up a lead in the last 90 seconds and miss a buzzer beater. And I just get on, and I reply to myself in the comment, and I said, "Told you." And the guy goes, who had the original comment, goes back to me and goes, I just got out of work, but damn, you really nailed that one. It's like that's the Nets brand. Is to always choke in the last minutes. But anyway, so because of that, the Trailblazers jumped the Grizzlies from 9th to 8th. Mm-hmm. The Grizzlies become the 9th. The Spurs, because both the Grizzlies and Trailblazers on the last day of the regular season or the seeding games, 8-game stretch, because they both won, the Spurs were out. Because every one of these teams had the same winning percentage, but because of tiebreakers, the Spurs were gone.
Yeah, okay.
The Suns would have gotten in if the Nets beat the Blazers.
Yeah.
Because the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble.
Yep.
And while one of those games was against the Wizards, 2 were against the Mavericks. 1 was against the Clippers. OKC Thunder. They played, other than the Wizards, pretty much all playoff teams of at least middle seeding or higher.
Yeah.
So that was big, and that basically vaulted the Suns into having expectations next year.
Yeah, but I don't believe that they have expectations next year.
They're the youngest team in the NBA, man.
Yeah, I know. All right. So what does this mean?
So it means that the Blazers became the 8th seed, the Grizzlies became the 9th seed, and then Saturday afternoon was the playing game. If the 8th seed won 1 game, they moved in to be the 8th seed in the actual playoffs. The 9th seed would have to win 2 games to get into that 8th spot.
Yeah.
The Blazers won.
Yeah.
The Blazers won the playing game, and so
play-in series.
Yeah. Everybody gets to see Damian Lillard shoot his half-court shots, and Devin Booker could have done the same. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. All right, so even though they went 8-0, Suns didn't make it, and the Spurs didn't make it for the first time in 22 years.
I'm holding out hope for the Suns, even though they actually already flew back.
Yeah, they're gone, dude. No playoffs this year.
I just feel bad for Devin Booker. The dude is a star. Basically carried the whole fucking team. Averaged 30.5 points per game. The whole bubble.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. I mean,
couldn't be me.
To be fair, having that many teams there, I thought was why the heck? But hey, it made a.
But the only scenario where it failed was Washington.
Yeah, but it made a pretty exciting couple of games for the West at least.
it allowed fans to kind of wean off of basketball for the season like they normally do at the end of a regular season too.
Yeah, and so
You
like
got to see the come down.
yeah, but like my initial like dislike of this scenario was like, why are you inviting, what was it, like 6 extra teams? Like, I understand inviting the ninth seed from the East and maybe like 9 and 10 or 9, 10, 11 from the West, but to go basically invite the entire West, but what, 2 teams? I was like, what's going on?
Well, the thing is, and this is, what's even weirder about the NBA is, I don't know, it's just, it's so imbalanced at the same time.
Yeah.
And what is even weirder about the NBA, because I actually lost my train of thought, but then got it back, is they're somehow thinking, and I have no idea if this is true anymore, but as of a couple weeks ago, they were going to take the 6 teams that didn't, because 6 teams are now leaving the bubble.
Yeah.
So they were going to take the 6 teams that didn't make the bubble and bring them in to like do scrimmages against each other, even though that none of them were going to make the playoffs.
No way. It's like, if I'm a player, it's like,
So why?
are you gonna pay me?
I'm sure they'd get paid, and it would give them like the scrimmages would get them to like at least have like a complete season in a sense.
Yeah, but it's not.
But they're not going to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. That's the NBA, of course, being such a players' league that they're like, oh look, players who didn't have as much time, we have to give them equal time. It's like, no.
It's like
teams that earn the right to be there earn the right to be there.
If you wanted scrimmages, invite the whole freaking league, man.
I mean, at this point, Charlotte should have been invited. That's what I will say. If somehow Washington could, finish worse than
Charlotte,
a team that wasn't invited, you might as well have just invited the other team.
Yeah.
Just to as the league to look good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
Not necessarily. This is most of we've really covered NBA in a while, and there's going to be I feel like a few days before the actual playoff games begin, unless they already did. It's fairly possible that they did, and I stopped caring. So I don't know. The NBA put up a decent product, I think, in the restart, but because I was watching all the Suns games, man.
Yeah.
And I was watching other games that would have implications on the Suns making it.
Okay.
There's no fucking defense, man. There's really not. Guys get into the lane with such ease.
Yeah.
And then the only time that guys try to play defense, they just foul each other. I was watching a Blazers Mavericks game, and I was like, I gotta get ready for deck hockey. I have a game soon. This game should be over in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 45 minutes before I had to leave.
Okay.
I left before the game was over. They literally, in the last 4 minutes, fouled each other every time going down the floor.
Yeah.
So there's foul on this end and foul on that end. It was like, Jesus Christ. Can we,
speed it up a little
get
bit?
anything else? Just let someone score.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I got nothing else, so thanks for tuning in, and catch you next time.
Yep. See ya.